Welcome to Ole Walls' house. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man. It's Ole Walls. I'm back with you. Episode 192 coming your way. I got a fun show today. Talking some NFL football. We'll touch on a couple other things in there too, but NFL is going to be the main driver of the show. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate the support. Appreciate all the watchings. Appreciate all the listens. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys could, you know the deal. Rate, review, comment, subscribe, and share. Definitely subscribe. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. And while you're doing that, don't forget to check out my guy MJ over at the Full Range Podcast on Spotify. You can find him on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. So like I said, I'm going solo today. We're talking NFL, my Green Bay Packers, and plenty of other things. So without further ado, let's get into it. NFL Week 1, ladies and gentlemen. My Green Bay Packers victorious over the Detroit Lions. A quite handy beatdown, I may say. We have a final score of 27-13. Packers give up only one touchdown into the game. A garbage TD late to Isaac Tesla from Jared Goff. But that was with 55 seconds left. The game was long since over. It would have been nice to see it end as a game where the defense didn't give up a touchdown. But all in all, I thought the defense did a nice job. It was kind of a bend, don't break game for them. The Lions did move the ball a little bit, 246 total yards. Not much on the ground, though, only 46 on the ground. All came through the air. And again, a bunch of that came on that final drive as well. So, first off, Micah Parsons is a Packer, and that was a good thing. He played, I think, about 42% of the downs. He had 3 pressures, and all 3 pressures led to something. It was a late sack. Like, let's knock it out. It wasn't a crucial moment sack, but it was a sack to kind of get a. Now I got Micah Parsons doing the Roman Reigns thing, but it was a sack that it wasn't at a crucial point. But he did get an early pressure. I think it was like the first snap he played. And kind of forced Jared Goff to throw a quick out. They ended up losing yards on that play. He got another pressure that led to Jared Goff maybe throwing a pass he shouldn't have, and the route got jumped, and the Packers picked it off. So Micah Parsons' impact, I think, was immediately felt for the Green Bay Packers. And the run defense held up. So Jared Goff was very efficient, 31 of 39. But the Packers held him in check, didn't let him in the end zone, like you said, until that late touchdown. And I'm just going to kind of run you through some other things. And yeah, I do have my notes. Parsons, one play in the first drive, immediately impacted Goff on third down throw. So it was perfect. Jordan Love. Let's go to Jordan Love because a lot of praise being heaped on him, and some of it very rightful. And I'm maybe not as high on Jordan Love as everybody else, but I thought he played a very good game. A darn good first half, almost great first half. There were a couple of questionable things. I mean, he did airmail Tucker Kraft on the first drive when Tucker Kraft was going to go. Hey, ends up kind of making up for it. A little later in that drive, nailing Tucker Kraft right down the middle, right up the seam, let the ball go before Kraft was in the spot, threw it to a spot, touchdown Tucker Kraft, gets Green Bay on the board right on that first drive. They had 3 more in the later in that quarter, and then in one of the in a really fun moment, he hits Dobbs. This is in the second quarter. The Lions have just kicked a field goal to score, and 2 plays and 45 seconds later, the Packers are in the end zone, and he finds Jaden Reed. A bomb up the middle to Dobbs, finds Reed out on the edge, and touchdown 17-3. Sputtered a little bit in the third quarter, finally got some stuff going again in the fourth. Yeah, and like I said, Evan Williams picks off Goff with 1 minute left in the first half on their own 10. Micah got in there and rushed the pass. Josh Jacobs kind of got held in check in the first half, but got it going a little bit in the second, found the end zone in the fourth quarter. But the third was there was a little bit of a weird spot for Jordan Love. After Lions' second field goal, so this is, they got their second field goal, make it 17-6, keep themselves in it. About 9:40 left in the quarter. So, the Packers come back after that. Jordan Love threw a ball that should have been intercepted and then did throw an interception but got waved off. Those were the two of the moments where I was like, man, this is the stuff from Jordan Love that we got to get rid of. I want, more of the Jordan Love in the first half, less of that middle stretch in the third quarter. And again, I've been saying it, Love is way more Brett Favre than he is Aaron Rodgers. We're just going to get this. That's going to be, kind of the deal with him. There's going to be moments that we're just going to have to live through. And you got to hope that, they don't last too long. And thankfully this one didn't. And you get away with it a little bit because we got away with it. Those were, Anzalone. I think it's Anzalone, the long-haired linebacker. He should have picked it off. He didn't. Then there was a pick, but I think there was a defensive holding on the play and, got lucky and got it brought back. But, that would have made it 17-13, and all of a sudden this is a very different ball game. So, just got to clean it up a little bit. Just clean it up a little bit, and I think we'll be all right here. But, all in all, it was a nice day. As far as, one of the questions about was who's going to catch the ball for the Packers. And I had said to MJ, it's going to be a receiver by committee, I believe. And the stats spell that out. Granted, only 16 completions, 16 and 22. So it's not like it was only 6. He threw it 40 times and it was only 16 completions. The Lions dominated time of possession. I see if I can find it here. Yeah, 35-24. And at one point it was 25-10. It dominated the time of possession there. But, you go to, the Packers receivers here. Romeo Doubs, 2 receptions, 68 yards. Jaden Reed, 3 receptions, 45 yards. Dontavian Wicks, 2 receptions, 30 yards. Tucker Kraft, 2 receptions, 16 yards. Matthew Golden, 2 receptions, 16 yards. Jacobs, Musgrave, Chris Brooks, John Fitzpatrick, and Savion Williams, all 1 reception. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different guys caught balls. If you just go to the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 receptions out of the backfield. They had 6 to Sam Laporta, 4 to Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4 to Jameson Williams, 5 to David Montgomery, and then Khalif Raymond gets 2 and Isaac Tesla gets the 1 touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with the bulk of them going more to about 5 guys and a couple of guys just getting one in there in garbage time. So, it's kind of what I thought in that aspect. It's they're going to throw a lot of guys out there. There's going to be a lot of people coming in and out, and a lot of different people are going to get the ball. There's not going to be any one person, I don't think, that Love's going to focus on. And, hey, that's got its benefits to it. So, all in all, I'm very happy with the way this team, stood up and played yesterday. A little concerning, Josh Jacobs, just only 66 yards on 19 carries. It did feel like the Lions were we're going to stop the run. We're going to be committed to stopping the run. And if Jordan Love beats us, Jordan Love beats us. Hey, they stood up in that moment and did what they were supposed to. They saw where the openings were and took them. Josh Jacobs got, like I said, a little something going in the second half. So, man, all in all, I'm ecstatic. I thought they had a nice chance to win. I may even said they were going to lose on our preview. But there was something coming over me throughout the week where I was I think they're going to win. I think they're going to beat this team. It was, a lot of change for the Lions. 2 new coordinators. Ben Johnson is obviously not there anymore, the offensive coordinator. So, a lot of new stuff for them to work out in a real game. And Packers took advantage of it. That said, Packers don't have much time to mess around. We turn around quick. Commanders coming to town. The Commanders had a nice game this week. Took care of business for themselves. So Thursday night doesn't isn't too far away. We're just 3 days away now, so quick turnaround. Commanders took care of the Giants. Wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. 21-6 probably could have been a little more, but all in all, I'm happy with where the Packers were. Elsewhere, I mean, we got to start with the game of the night, the game of the day. A game I kind of called it on. I was falling asleep and turned the TV off. I believe I turned the TV off when it was 34-19. I think that's what it was at the end of the. Yeah, it was 34-19 at the end of the third when I checked out, and it ended up getting up to what 40 to. Yeah, get up to 40-25. But the Buffalo Bills, 16 points in 4 minutes to end the game, to win the game, take the lead. Josh Allen put on an absolute show. 394 yards passing, 2 touchdowns through the air. I believe he then ran for another 2, right? Yep, so 4 touchdowns total. 424 all-purpose yards. Just absolutely awesome. James Cook scored a touchdown as well on the ground, and then Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid were the guys who finished it up in the air for the other touchdowns. But good Lord, I went back, watched the highlights, and saw everything that happened, and holy shnikes, what a game! I thought it was all but done when I was clocking out, and oh boy, was I wrong. Should have stayed up for that one. That's one of the ones where you're like, darn it, you're really pissed you missed that one. But Josh Allen is a force of nature. Can't put anything past that guy. I mean, he's just incredible. I mean, he just puts the team on his back. There was absolutely no defense being played in that game. And I'll tell you what, another game where absolutely no defense seemed to be being played was the Steelers and the Jets. And my guy, Aaron Rodgers, still got it. 22 of 30, 244, 4 touchdowns, gets him into field goal position. Not the greatest field goal position at the end of the game. And Chris Boswell banks through a 60-yarder with about a minute left, and the Steelers go on to win the game. Steelers are 1-0. Rodgers, still capable. Still capable is what I wrote about the first half of that. But yeah, and he spread it around too. DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Kenneth Gainwell. All of them had some receptions. Ben Skowronek in there. So there were questions, hey, Arthur Smith likes to use a lot of tight ends. Rodgers has never really played in the system where it's a lot of tight ends. I think someone said it's a lot of 11 personnel. So, 2 receivers, a tight end, a back. But, oh, God, it was fun to see Rodgers sling again. I love Rodgers. So it was sick. It was sick. So let's backtrack a little. Now we go backwards. Back to Thursday. And a game where it was all offense in the first half. But the under ended up hitting. The Dallas Cowboys go down to the Philadelphia Eagles, and boy, did it look like they could have used a pass rusher. Jalen Hurts threw for $152, but then rushed for 62 more and 2 touchdowns. Maybe the biggest story out of it is that Jalen Carter gets tossed from the game before the first play even happened because he spit on Dak. That said, apparently Dak spit first at the ground, and Jalen Carter just couldn't control himself, apparently, because, this guy's a fine, upstanding citizen, and spits on Dak and gets tossed. The Eagles overcome it, but yeah, it was a high-flying first half, 21-20 going into the break, and then we just get a Philadelphia Eagles field goal in the second half, and the defending champs hold on and defend their home turf. The Chargers take down the Chiefs. The Chiefs, Xavier Henry, I believe, was it Xavier Henry? I forget who the kid who ran, not Xavier Henry. Oh, hell. One of the guys ran right into Travis Kelce right at the start of the game, and he was out. So the Chiefs are a little banged up at receiver. Hollywood Brown caught 10 balls for 99 yards. They got Juju Smith-Schuster, and they got Kelce's old ass out there. Xavier Worthy. Jesus, who the hell is Xavier Henry? Why? I gotta know who Xavier Henry is. He's a basketball player. No, that's Xavier Henry. Okay, whatever. Worthy. So, a friend of mine did tell me, he's like, hey, you got to put it out there. He's like, next time you record a pod, the Chiefs are going to go trade for Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill did not look thrilled this weekend. Did not look thrilled. Nor that he should, because the Indianapolis Colts absolutely dominated the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins didn't score until the fourth quarter. Tyreek had 4 receptions for 40 yards. I think one of them was over 30 yards, which was the first reception he's had over 30 yards since game 1 last year. There's trouble in Miami. Tua's, I think, still owed a bunch of money. So I don't know what it's going to be for them to get off him. Feels like Mike McDaniel's on the hot seat. That was a pitiful showing. Danny Dimes was out here balling, though, for the Colts. Goes 22 of 29 through the year, 272 and a touchdown. Ends up running for 2 more touchdowns. The resurgence of one Danny Dimes in Indianapolis may, in fact, be on. Jags beat the Panthers. Panthers still stink. Panthers still stink is what we're getting out of that. Bryce Young, 18 of 35, 154, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. More of the same from what we saw from him kind of early last year. He seemed to be taking a little bit of a step. We'll see. Trevor Lawrence, 19 of 31, 178, a TD and an interception. Not the greatest stuff, but, I mean, Travis Etienne carried him through the day. 143 yards on 16 carries. Cardinals get by the Saints in kind of a sloppy game. The Saints were in it. The Cardinals got out kind of, early-ish, but the Saints were there every time. The Saints actually took the lead early, tied it up, but then the Cardinals got up 20-10 in the middle of the third and kind of hung on. A lot of teams coming out firing in the first half and then kind of just holding on. Mentioned Commanders took care of the Giants, nothing to see there. Bucks and Falcons played a fun one. That one was popping back up all over Red Zone, which, by the way, Red Zone wasn't bad with the commercials. If that's what the commercials are, I noticed one. I may have missed some like later in the day when I switched the Packer game over to the big TV. That said, Wingstop, you're out. I've made a determination that anybody I notice advertising on Red Zone where it takes the game away from the TV. If they put it on the outside, I don't care. They switched over and Wingstop was on there. So Wingstop, I will not be purchasing anything from your fine establishment. But in the Bucks-Falcons game, Michael Penix Jr. had a nice game. 27 for 42. He was chucking it. 298 in a TD. He ran for a big touchdown there as well. I was thinking the Bucks might have been in a little trouble here, but they did just enough to hold on. And sometimes, hey, a win is a win. They don't count them up at the end of the day. How you got them, just that you got them. They did miss a kick at the end there with after Baker found Emeka Ibuka, who had himself a nice football game. Mr. Ibuka did 4 receptions, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson was phenomenal out of the backfield as a pass catcher. Didn't get a lot going on the ground. Tyler Algier ran for as many yards as him today, and Michael Penix was only 3 yards behind him. So on the ground, not ideal, but through the air, it was nice. The Cincinnati Bengals actually win a game to start the year. It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty at all. They scored the first touchdown of the game, I think on the first drive, maybe just the second, their first drive, I believe. And then it was weird. I mean, it was just close and nip and tuck, and a field goal in the third quarter ended up being the difference maker after Cleveland had taken the lead with a Cedric Tillman catch from Joe Flacco for a touchdown. Now, hey, the Bengals have been, notoriously slow starters, but hey, they pulled out a win in one of these slow starts, but they got to be better than that if they're expected to do anything else. Raiders take down the Patriots. 49ers take down the Seahawks. Christian McCaffrey does play. 22 carries, 69 yards on the ground. Caught 9 balls for 73 yards. So, 142 overall scrimmage yards. So pretty solid outing from them. No touchdown for him, so fantasy owners be damned. Fancy owners be damned. But he looked all right out there. He looked like he was healthy enough. And if the 49ers can get something from him, they'll definitely be happy. And then Broncos take care of the Titans, another sloppy game. And then kind of another to continue on the line of sloppy games. Matt Stafford and the Rams hold on against the Houston Texans. The Texans got out 6-0 with some field goals. Kyron Williams found himself in the end zone. Texans match with yet another field goal. And then Matt Stafford in the third quarter hits Davis Allen. Again, it just holding on. No points scored again. So a lot of that this week. A lot of like out early and then, just hold on for dear life coming down the stretch for these guys. And that kind of wraps up. We got Vikings-Bears tonight. I will not be doing an addendum for that. I hope they both lose. If that game could just end in if that game ends in a tie, it's actually pretty nice. Like a tie, just 0-0 tie, and everybody hates themselves for having to watch it. So, fuck both those teams. Just straight into the sun. All right, next week. What do we got for interesting games next week? Just to kind of take a look ahead. Packers-Commanders obviously kick us off Thursday night. Steelers-Seahawks. See if the Steelers can, find another win there. Patriots-Dolphins. That could be a slop fest, but I'm just want to see what's going to happen with the Dolphins. That's at high noon, so we'll be checking that through Red Zone. Bears-Lions. It'll be interesting to see what the Bears look like tonight, in all honesty. And then can the Lions bounce back against the Bears? Don't really want to lose 2 division games to start the year off if you're the Lions or the Bears, depending on what happens with them tonight. Browns, Ravens. How do the Ravens bounce back? Browns are, I don't think they're terrible. I think they're going to give people some games they don't want. Bengals, Jags. Is this a different Jags team? Is it a Bengals team that can find the gas? Is on the right side of the car, right side of the floorboard before week 4? We'll see. We'll see indeed. Panthers, Cardinals, slot fest. Colts, Broncos. Can the Colts keep it up? What do they got? The Broncos are a team with, some high hopes and some high aspirations, kind of saddled around them. So what are we going to get from the Broncos when they go play maybe a little bit of a resurgent Colts team? And hey, was the Colts thing just a 1 week thing? Week 1 is a liar. Many people have said week 1 is a liar. So Falcons, Vikings is Sunday night. Eagles, Chiefs, Sunday afternoon. That should be a fun one. Chiefs got to bounce back. Can the Eagles keep it rolling? I like that. Bucks, Texans in the early Monday night game, the game that starts at 7. And then we got the late Monday night game, the game that starts at 10. I guarantee you that one will not make the Monday night addendum. Maybe the Bucks Texans will. So I'm kind of interested in that Bucks Texans one. CJ Stroud can he bounce back? You get a much better picture after week 2 of what seems to be happening. Take everything with week 1 with a grain of salt. Weird things can happen, and teams that looked good in week 1 all of a sudden turn around and lay an egg in week 2. And week 3 you should have more of a full picture, but week 2 gives you at least a little bit of an idea of where you should be looking. So, God, I love the NFL. It was such a great day watching football yesterday. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait for week 2. Can't wait. Yes. Okay, let's talk a little college football. A little college football here. Not much in the way of good, interesting ranked matchups this week. We had Michigan and Oklahoma. Michigan went into Oklahoma, and Oklahoma took care of business. Some complaints about Bryce Underwood were surfacing. Why won't they let him throw the ball? Well, he threw it 24 times, and it's not like Michigan throws the shit out of the ball. It's just not how it works at Michigan. They just don't throw it much. They made a little bit of a comeback in the second half after being down 14-0, but that was about the only good game, really. I mean, every other top 25 team who played somebody unranked, and most of the time pretty poor. Illinois and Duke played. That game was close for a while when I was keeping an eye on it in the first half. Luke Altmaier, nice game, 22 of 31 for 296. I also played in the golf tournament on Saturday that took a little while, so I didn't get to see a whole heck of a lot of that or a heck of a lot of anything because I was playing. Penn State, hard to say took care of business against FIU. It was, they didn't score a touchdown until the end of the first quarter. It was 10-0 at halftime. Finally scored the second touchdown of the game. Late 4:40 left in the third. That was a very nice catch by Devontae Ross, though. And then Katron Allen busted a big one deep late in the fourth, and Nick Singleton scored one with 1:20 left. It's like, why are those guys even in the game at that point? I mean, maybe the first one, 3:29 left, it's 20-0. Weird shit can happen, but why is Nick Singleton in the game? Up 27-0 with 1:20 left. Like, what are we doing? I know exactly what we're doing. We're just trying to run the score up because that's what happens. 19-33 from Drew Aller again. I didn't see this game. I saw highlights. I don't know. That should have been a bigger win. Texas bounces back a little bit. I think Arch Manning had a little bit better game. Yeah, 19-30, 295, 4 TDs. Did throw an interception. I think I saw him running for some yards at one point, too. He at least broke a big one off. Yeah, he scored a touchdown. 4 runs, 23 yards. They're back a little bit. I mean, again, outside of that, just a whole lot of nothing. Like, this is my big problem with college football. Oh, Florida lost. That's right. Florida lost. South Florida takes them down, vaults themselves into the top 25. Florida has a goddamn murderer's row schedule. Listen to their next 3 games. At LSU, at Miami, Texas comes to town. Then they go to Texas A&M. Then they play Mississippi State, who just got a big win over Arizona State. Then Georgia comes to town. Then they go to Kentucky. Then they go to Ole Miss. Then Tennessee comes to town. Then they end the year with Florida State, who's up to 10th in the country right now. No thanks to that one. What do we got going forward here? Alabama hosts Wisconsin. Some more complaints out of Alabama. They absolutely laced UL Monroe, but I did see the Powerball was huge, and I did see a lady in Alabama like, what are you going to do if you win the Powerball? He's like, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy out Kalen DeBoer and get him out of here. So that game's at noon. Wisconsin goes to Alabama. Our Nittany Lions play Villanova. Tough one. Georgia, Tennessee, I believe, is probably the game of the day. Georgia, Tennessee at 3:30 Eastern. South Florida and Miami. I did see somebody, that game is on the CW, and someone goes, is this the greatest game that's ever been played on the CW? Texas A&M heads to Notre Dame. So we got a couple games. Florida at LSU, like I said. So we got a couple of decent games coming up this week. This is the point of the year I'm like, what's the good week in college football? Where's all these good games come? Week 4's got a couple of decent ones. South Carolina, Mizzou, Florida, Miami, Texas Tech, Utah, Auburn, Oklahoma, Michigan, Nebraska, Illinois, Indiana. Didn't think you'd ever see that as a game you're kind of penciling in on the college football schedule, but Illinois, Indiana is a Saturday night 7:30 game. Venue, The Rock. But I believe week 5 is one of those ones where we get quite a slew of good games here. Yeah, you get Florida State, Virginia, Illinois, USC, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Auburn, Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, Penn State, Oregon, Alabama, Georgia. So there's brighter days out ahead for us here. But yeah, September 27th, that's Penn State's first real game. I mean, they're gonna beat Villanova. Hopefully it looks better than it's been looking. But I mean, that's the first game that matters for Penn State. And then you kind of get into the flow of it, and you're in the conference play, and you get some better matchups and things like that kind of rolling through the year. But yeah, you get kind of tricked into to college football. It's like week 1, you get a couple of things, and then week 2 and 3 kind of slow down. And then you got to wait a little bit. It's like, when does conference play get going? And then once conference play gets going, we're kind of off to the races. So we're almost there. But we'll keep looking. I'll toss my Cleveland Guardians in right here. I'm not going to even break it up. The Guards remain alive-ish in the wild card hunt. Who knows if they can do it. They're 2.5 back of the Mariners. Again, the Royals and the Rangers are out ahead of them. They got a 4-game set with the Royals at home, starting today, Monday. That first pitch is any minute now. But yeah, they had a 4-game set with the Rays and beat them, the last 3 games. Dumped the first one. They had, lost 2 or 3 to the Red Sox right before that. And, right before that, they'd taken 2 or 3 from the Mariners. So, I mean, they're just hanging around. They're going to make, I haven't been watching much lately. Football's been back. I've been busy. I've been traveling. They're just going to keep it, hanging around where it's kind of enough of an outside thing. I believe there's 20 games left on the slate for them. So there's 4, 7, 10, 14, 17, 20. Yeah, and, it's they got the Royals this week. And then they got the White Sox. So, I mean, dial up some wins there. Then they got some Tigers. Tough one. Tigers again. And then the Rangers, who are a team that's out ahead of them. But it's like, who knows? I fully expect that this comes down to, last week. And it's like, if they win out and the other teams lose 2 or 3, this could happen. And then I'm going to, have to be checking scores and doing all this stuff. And it's not going to be, realistic for it to be happening. But it's going to be out there. So, who knows? But we will, we trudge on. We trudge on indeed. So, all right, let's keep this thing rolling. Time for some passing thoughts. So, first off, I just want to say the Fox score bug, the scoreboard, still sucks. Still sucks. It's just not good. It's just really bad. I don't know. It's really bad. I don't know how else to say it. It's not visually pleasing. It's too big. Then it's kind of see-through. I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like it at all. I don't like it one bit. And it sucks. And it was funny. The roommate did say to me, because, as red zone's flipping around, and, for me, when you see the score and you're like, oh, which teams are which. But, she's like, why doesn't it tell you who has the ball? Just a notation. And I was like, oh, it always used to. They always used to be like, oh, this team has the ball. And granted, like I said, for me, it doesn't matter. I'm going to know which team's which. But, there always just used to be a little something like, this team has possession. It would be. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary. Just in my thinking about the score bug sucking. That's what I've got. I did see this, and I want to get out ahead of this. That I am just as guilty of this as everybody else. So I'm not taking shots here. It just made me laugh, and then I was like, "Fuck, I do it too." I saw a picture of somebody attending a wedding, and they're like, "Oh, congrats to so and so! It was so much fun." And then you look at the pictures, it's that person and their husband or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. A couple other pictures. Maybe at the very end, there's a picture sprinkled in with the actual bride and groom, but half the time, no. And again, I've done this. I've been a part of these posts. It's here's to so-and-so. And it's well, where the fuck are so-and-so? So-and-so aren't in the pictures. That's just a picture of you and your husband or you and your wife or your girlfriend or whatever it may be. It just, I saw one and it just cracked me up. Just absolutely cracked me up. And I was like, oh, I've done it. I've done it. There's nothing worse, in your head, being oh yeah, what idiots, you losers. And then you're like, shit, I do that all the time. You're like, nope, I'm an idiot too. I am just a dumb dummy. Dumb dummy. And, sometimes that's just the way it is. Mike Tyson's going to fight Floyd Mayweather. That's maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. What are we doing? How bad do those dudes need money? How bad? Just what are we doing here? I mean, that's That's where we're going with this? Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather? I mean, Tyson's what, 60? How old is Mike Tyson? He's got to be 62? 62 is my guess. He's 59. He's 59. Floyd's got to be pushing 50 himself. 48. So a guy whose highest ever weight he fought at was 150. Actually, I don't even think it was 154. I think it was like 152 and a half at a catch weight. Is going to face a 60-year-old former heavyweight. Well, here you go. Floyd Mayweather faces $4 million lawsuit after allegedly selling fake Elon Musk calls for cash and designer watches. There you go. He's got a court bill to pay. Explains a lot more. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather accused of fraud after selling $4 million FaceTime calls with Elon Musk that never happened. Good God. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, we all watched the Mike Tyson Jake Paul thing. That was bad. I fell for it. I turned on. It was on Netflix. It was for free. There's zero chance I pay any money for this fight. Someone talk to me. If I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to stay up late tonight and watch Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Someone just talk to me. Be like, don't do that. Don't do that. You said you weren't going to do that. That said, I will be staying up this weekend for a fight this coming Saturday. Canelo Alvarez and Crawford are going at it. Terrence Crawford. That's going to be a fun fight. Terrence Crawford going up 2 weight classes. He just last fought at 154. He's skipping to 160, going up to 168 to fight Canelo, which is where Canelo's been hanging out at 168. Should actually be a pretty fun fight. Canelo, obviously the bigger guy. I think Canelo is technically the younger guy, but in terms of what they've been through in the ring, Canelo's been in some wars, and Terrence Crawford has not. Canelo is 35. I think Terrence Crawford's like 38, 37. So yeah, Canelo bigger, technically younger. I think as far as like their condition and boxing career, I think I'd say Terrence Crawford is like the younger fighter, in reality, or not reality, but like hypothetically. 41 fights for Crawford. I mean, he's only went the distance twice since 2015, and didn't take a ton of damage in a lot of those fights. Sean Porter got into him a little bit. Madrimov gave him a fight, but I'm like, he beat the shit out of Errol Spence. He had no problem with David Adesanya. He messed up Kell Brook. Yeah. So I mean, where if you go back to Canelo, who he hasn't really had a big banging fight in a while, where it was like, oh, this was not Canelo, Arizona, Canelo Alvarez. I mean, if you go back and look at Canelo's fights, I mean, William Skull, Edgar Berlanga, Jaime Munguia fight, they got him a little bit, but like Jermell Charlo, John Ryder, the last Golovkin fight, like Canelo hasn't been in one since Dimitri Bivol, and before that it was Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Avni Yildirim, Callum Smith. I mean, you got to go back to like the second Golovkin fight before he's really gotten into it deep. And I mean, the last bunch of people he's fought. I mean, Berlanga was overhyped. William Skull sucks. Munguia gave him a little something. Arlo sucks. Ryder sucks. That version of Gennady Golovkin he fought. So I kind of favor Terrence Crawford here. I am just going to go out there and say it. Another sports thing. I thought this was kind of cool. I wish I could make this bigger. Yeah. Well, I saw a clip. So this tennis people, what the heck's their? I've lost their names. Well, tennis was dominated by the big three: Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. I mean, and here's this thing that I was looking at. This is like a list. Oh, it cuts off when you go sideways. But all the red is the majors won by Federer, Djokovic, or Nadal. And then when you flip it back this way, it actually stays all the way out. But then these are the Alcaraz and the other guy, Sinner. Alcaraz and Sinner have just won the last 8. I mean, you know, the last time somebody won a tennis Grand Slam that wasn't Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Alcaraz, or Sinner was 2021. That would have been the U.S. Open that year, and then again the U.S. Open in 2020. You have to go back to 2016 for a year when 2 of the Grand Slams weren't won by, you know, one of those 5 people. And before that, it goes all the way back to 2003 before there was a year 2 haven't won it. So just a wild amount of dominance over in the tennis world. So, yeah, pretty weird. Pretty crazy. Not weird, crazy. Crazy, you might say. This weather, this weather, ladies and gentlemen, is perfect. Got a little cold a couple of days, but today, it's cooled off now. I think now it's down to about, it's still hanging on around 70 degrees here. But then it gets down cool at night. It's, 45, 50, walking the dog in the morning, throwing a hoodie and a pair of sweatpants. And then it warms up during the day. And we got a couple of warmer ones here coming up, 75, 76. Then as we get to the weekend, it's actually 81, 83, 84. But again, down into the 50s at night. And then, next week, same kind of deal. 70s, touches 82 one time. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of weather I'm into. Like, this is perfect. Yesterday, had some great food. The roommate made some sliders with some homemade rolls. I got that light just reflecting right there. Well, there we go. Some ham and provolone, or ham and Swiss, with a nice buttery thing drizzled all over it. And then my mom's apple pie recipe that she made there. So just a great day. Just a great day of football. Was really busy yesterday. Got up, walked the dog, got to the gym, came back, cleaned the house a little bit, then settled in for 7 hours of football. It was just perfect. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Boomer is over rolling himself against the wall, scratching it. So if you heard that, that's what that was. That's all I got. Let's go wrap this thing up. Closing time, everybody. As always, just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the watches. Appreciate the listens. Appreciate producer Kevy for helping get us started down this video path. We'll be back next week. More football. We got football till February. Football till February, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great time to be alive. Football season is here. It's still warm out. Like, this is beautiful because, you get into, later football season, it's cold, it's dark all day. We haven't changed the clock yet. This is good. So, more football next week. Don't forget to check out MJ over at the Full Range Pod. You can find them on YouTube at YouTube at the Ole Walls House YouTube channel, and on Spotify as well. Till next week. Peace!